All right, what's going on, everybody? Let me get some people in here so I can check for audio levels and all that. So if you're in, let me know. Just pop a comment down there. I don't really like to start live stream. I don't like to start like doing the actual content until I'm sure that the audio level is okay and all that. Because you just never know. Sometimes with OBS things get a little bit, it can get messed up, like the settings aren't saved from the last time I did a live stream, so I just want to make sure. So I'm just double checking my own channel here on my other computer, but it's not popping up yet. But yeah, let's see. There we go. Bad Panda videos. Bro, what's up? Just do a, I want to make sure you guys can hear me. Let's see here. Bad Panda videos. Give me an audio check and a video check, because it's not really popping up for me on my other computer. And I'm not really sure. The audio is very good. Nice. Can you see everything okay? You're the first one here, so I appreciate it. Okay. Why is it still not showing up here? Here it is. Got 28 people. Video is pretty well lit, not bad. All right, yeah, sweet. All right, I see it. Nice, cheers. Okay, so yeah, today I wanted to compare Taiwanese drivers to Chinese drivers. Both, if I'm honest, are pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Because again, I've lived in both countries, and I could say from my experience, both are they're not great. They're not good at driving. And complaining about driving when you live in either of those countries gets annoying pretty quick. I find for me, it's how you can tell that someone has just moved here is because they complain about the driving. I've lived here for so long that it doesn't even faze me. In fact, I'm probably considered a terrible driver now because I've adopted sort of their style of doing things, because I think that if you're going to, aloha Prazi from Kaohsiung. What's up, Joseph? Joseph Schickler. I think if you're going to survive driving here, you kind of have to adapt to the style. And so I have. And so if I go back home to Canada and drove the way that I do now, the police would be on me like so fast. What's up, Yellow How? What's going on, my buddy? Jog Van Jesperson PGA. Video and audio is fine. Turn off the light. Might improve the viewing experience for viewers. What do you... That light? Is that one too? Is that messing with stuff? Just gotta watch out for those ladies on bikes that will wipe you out. I remember you. Yeah, exactly. I will talk about that in a second. Spencerling, hello Prazi from Mississauga. I'm driving to Ottawa this afternoon. God damn, what are you? Good evening, Prazi. What's up? That's a channel member right there. What the hell would you be driving to Ottawa for, man? I heard we got snow in Ottawa already, which is pretty crazy. I don't think I ever want to ride my motorcycle here. You mean in Taiwan? Or, yeah, it was a joke. Oh, okay, gotcha. I was just worried because that light in an older live stream was causing my camera to not be able to focus, and so it was constantly focus hunting because of that light. But anyways. Yeah, driving in Taiwan is like, people ask me all the time, like, which one is the worst? Is it China or, hang on, what the hell is going on with this thing? Sorry, guys. It's always technical stuff. This is so annoying. My Mac has grabbed, there it is. I live in southern Indiana and we already have snow as well. God damn, winter came earlier this year for you guys, eh? Yeah, people ask me all the time, who is worse at driving, Chinese people or Taiwanese people? And in my experience, it's Chinese people, but not by much, and that might change. And that's just in my experience. Some other people might have a different opinion. I learned and started riding motorcycles when I lived in China, and as a result of that, I used to crash all the time in China. Like countless times I crashed into stuff, into people crashing into me, and I just kind of look at it as part of the learning experience. It taught me a lot about riding, and it kind of, you know, every time I crashed, it was just sort of get back on the horse type of attitude, just get back on, try it again. There's a new thing I got to look out for, and hopefully I don't die. And it's worked out so far. But in Taiwan, I haven't crashed once. I haven't dropped a bike once. I haven't had anyone, well, I had one old lady rear end me, which was partially my fault, if I'm completely honest. But it was only one time, and that was many years ago. And since then, I haven't had any bumps or nothing. I love Prosy live streaming. Thanks, Yellow How. I'm glad you enjoy them. We're going to look at some videos in a second that I've got prepared. And yeah, I just found Chinese people to be a lot more careless on the road. They don't, I mean, just in general, Chinese people aren't really the most considerate people on the planet. And when they get behind the wheel of a car, it's more so. But here in Taiwan, they kind of have, I don't know what it is, where in daily life, Taiwanese people are so kind and so friendly and so welcoming. And everyone who's visited me here in Taiwan has had the same opinion, how much they like Taiwanese people. But as soon as they get behind the wheel of a car, something happens. Okay, I don't know what it is. Something happens to them where they just turn into a monster, and they lose all spatial awareness. They lose all courtesy and, you know, common goodwill or goodwill for common man, however you say that. And they just turn into like the worst people ever. Or they're just clueless, and it's kind of terrifying. Now, not every single person in Taiwan is a bad driver, obviously, but I think it's fair to say that most of them are. Spencer Ling says, I'm commuting from Mississauga to Ottawa every week. I've been driving the 401 for 3 years. God damn, you're a traffic warrior, my man. Over 150,000 kilometers. I was a typical Chinese driver before immigrating to Canada 20 years ago. Yeah, that'll get knocked out of you pretty quick, I guess. Damn, the 401. I don't miss driving that road. I turned left now. Good luck, everybody else. Yeah, that classic Family Guy meme. Yes, Taiwan. Have ridden around the world. Most dangerous place. I have driven in Siberia, Russia. Mafia guys not giving a shit. Never stopping at signs and past blind corners. Playing chicken is sport. Yeah, that's terrifying. That's one thing, like, some mountain roads here in Taiwan are really fun, but a lot of them are, it's a 2-lane road, but there's no divide, you know, there's no line in the middle. And for what, I never understood this, there's a lot of behaviors that I don't like and don't get. I just don't understand. But that's one of them, where you go around a blind, like on a mountain road, right? Like you can't see what's around the corner. You can't, there's no way for you to tell what's coming. And so you should try to stay in your own lane, right? You should try to stay on kind of on the outside, which might not be like the perfect line. You're not going to kiss the apex. You're not going to be breaking records or anything, but it's the safest place to be. But a lot of people will hug the inside of their lane or the outside of the lane, depending on which way you're coming from. And it causes a lot of accidents. In Asia, it's that they never had a car culture. I'm going to disagree with you just because of Japan. But if you're talking about Taiwan and China, then I think you're completely right. I think there is a definite lack of car culture here. There is some in Taiwan, but a lot of modified cars that you see here are not modified in the way that I find good looking at all, or or even in a cultural sense, like if you look at the Western idea of driving, which we consider to be like a privilege, not a right, you hear that all the time. And being able to learn how to drive is a really serious thing in the West, and it's a part of growing up, and safety while you're driving is drilled into you. Here in Taiwan, it's more of a convenience, and yeah, I don't know. I've looked up some stats. Hang on, let's switch to the other camera and make sure that I'm centered right. How do I? Let me give you. I'll make myself bigger now. Whatever. That's fine, I guess. I've got stats here. They're not stats. It's an AI overview. Okay, take it for what you want. Who knows how accurate these are? And it says, well, China has a much larger population, leading to a higher absolute number of accidents, which makes sense. General data suggests that China's road mortality rates are generally lower compared to Taiwan, which really surprised me because, that is against what my experience is. In my experience, it's always been, China was the far more dangerous place to drive. I just found them to be, what is going on? I'm just stretching myself here. Where is the cropping? There it is. Okay, gotcha. I probably look really wonky right now. I have no idea. But yeah, I've always found China to be a lot more dangerous. I bought a new car a year ago in Taipei and driven 23,000 kilometers all over Taiwan in about 12 months. I personally prefer Taiwan to almost anywhere in North America. In regards to driving, though, that is awesome, though. I really wish I could afford a new car and drive all around Taiwan in 12 months. That's an absolute dream. I'm more referring to multi-generational culture. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. So these stats suggest that Taiwan actually, as far as road deaths are concerned, maybe not necessarily accidents, it's actually worse in Taiwan. And I think the reason for that is because Taiwanese people ride motorcycles and scooters a lot more than Chinese people do, at least maybe per capita or whatever. Numbers wise, there's probably more people riding scooters in China. Maybe, I don't know. But there's more Taiwanese, the percentage is more people in Taiwan ride scooters, and those are more dangerous. And I also think it's going to improve a lot, especially in China. If you look at a lot of the cars they produce there, are really good. They won't even sell them in America because I think, anyways, it would annihilate the American car manufacturing scene. I don't think they can compete, at least with electric cars, anyways. I don't think they can compete with what China is doing for the cost, for the price that Chinese auto manufacturers can offer. You could look at MKBHD's review of the Xiaomi, whatever, I don't know what they named that car. But it's only like $40-something thousand, and it has all these crazy features, including self-driving. And I think that self-driving is going to improve the situation a lot in China, because you're taking the risk out of it, right? Because now they're not even driving their cars themselves. So yeah. Anyways, high relative risk. Taiwan struggles with high accident rates for its population size, often cited as a major public health concern, which is true. Yeah. Fatalities exceeding total deaths from other causes like drowning or fires, for sure. For sure. I think the leading cause of death in Taiwan, this is getting a little bit morbid, I apologize, but I think it's cancer. But I wouldn't be surprised if driving was number one or number two. And yeah, definite danger for pedestrians, motorcyclists, mainly because Taiwan doesn't really do sidewalks. So pedestrian, just today I was grabbing dinner and I almost got hit like 1,000 times. It doesn't even faze me anymore, but you are walking, centimeters away from cars flying by, because there's no pedestrian, there's no sidewalk. You're sharing the road with cars and motorcycles and all of that. So the fun part of the video, of the live stream, I thought we could watch some car crash videos and not laugh at other people's expenses. You can't, it's not funny. Okay, I'm watching you. Okay, I know I'm like Santa. I know when you're laughing. It's not okay to laugh at other people who get hurt. Joseph, I'm watching you, boy. You better not do it. And one of the ones that I watch a lot on Instagram, who I'm actually subscribed to, is this one called Wow Tea Shout or whatever. It's not a sponsor. They're not collaborating. They don't even know I'm doing this. It's just an Instagram page that posts Taiwanese accidents. And they're really interesting to watch. And I think I like watching them because I kind of treat them as like lessons in a way, like things to look out for. And I keep them in my mind when I'm riding my motorcycle or my scooter. And I'm sure we'll see a few examples here that pop up all the time. One, I'm sure, I haven't watched these, by the way. I haven't seen, like maybe I've seen them on my Instagram randomly, but I haven't gone through these videos yet. So I'm going through this for the first time with you guys. Okay, so I don't know what the videos are going to contain, but I'm going to predict that one of the types of accidents that we're going to see is where a car is going to turn right, okay? But because scooters have to ride on the right-hand side of the road, like people, maybe if you don't live in Taiwan, you don't know this, but scooters generally stay to the right. So they usually, they'll ride in between the right side of the car and the sidewalk, if there is a sidewalk. And so that presents a challenge when the car is trying to turn right, because that means there's a whole load of scooters who are flying by you on your right side and often in your blind spot. And people, of course, they don't check. Why would they check? That would be too safe. And so they end up turning right and cutting off a scooter. Or you're going to see someone on a scooter pull out onto the road without looking at all if there are cars coming. They just go. This is something I don't understand, and it infuriates me still just from time to time. I'm kind of used to it now. You can kind of see them. Like, I think here's how I think it works. Maybe I should explain this when we actually see it happen, but whatever. Now that it's on my mind, I wanted to get it out because I'll forget. So what happens is, like, you're trying to pull it onto the road. Maybe you're in like a parking lot or a garage or whatever. You're just trying to pull it onto the road. A lot of people here don't look. Like, let's say you're turning right, I should be looking to the left because cars are coming, right? But people don't. They just go and then pray that they don't get hit, right? Kind of. Like, what they do is they'll slowly pull out onto the road and they'll hug the side of the road. And the idea is that because they're not looking at you, they pass the responsibility of seeing them onto you because they're moving so slowly. So it's your responsibility to brake in time so you don't hit them or move out of the way. It's not their responsibility because they're not looking at you. That's kind of the subconscious bit of communication, I think, is what's happening. I might not be totally true because I'm not fucking retarded, pardon my French, and I don't do that when I'm riding my scooter. But I imagine that's what's going through the people's minds when they just pull out onto the road, because I just can't figure out another reason why they wouldn't look before doing it. So those two things I think is what we're going to see exhibited here, at least for the Taiwanese crashes, is cars turning right and cutting off a scooter, and a scooter just going onto the road without any regard. You see that happen a lot in China as well. Okay, I think there is a peasant mentality. For many people, it's their first car, and they now feel like a hotshot. Seen this throughout the world. Yeah, I think there's a bit of that. I think you're probably right. There's also, like, I think particularly in China and a little bit in Taiwan, but not so much, is the size of your car dictates the priorities, like the right of way. Like, the larger your car, the more other people are looking out for you, and therefore you have the right of way, which is like the polar opposite of the West. Samuel Lane says, lived in Southeast Asia for a year. I had 5 crashes on scooters. Nice. Not nice, but you're up there with me, my man. Planning on moving to Taiwan to teach. Almost bound to crash again. Any scooter recommendations for Taiwan? Yeah, a lot of people get caught up in the engine size, and I don't think, at least in my experience, there's a huge difference between a 125 and a 150. So anything in that range would be fine. It kind of depends on what you want. I think good scooters, new scooter, like Kimco is a local brand, and I think I see a lot of people online saying don't bother with local brands, just go with something Japanese like a Yamaha. But they seem fine to me. Like I really want a Kimco Racing King. I think those look awesome. I've driven one once. I rented one years ago and I loved it. Yamaha Cygnus is pretty nice. If you want something that's kind of fun and modular and can even be off-road if you want to, is the Yamaha BWS. I think the new ones are cool as hell. You can get like all kinds of different compartments, like storage, like saddlebags, but not really. Like they just, it's modular, so you can attach different stuff to the scooter and make it do different. They're pretty cool. Geez, let me see. I don't know. You can. It depends on what you want, you know, like if you want to get an older scooter and restore it, there's some pretty cool two-strokes out there. I don't know. You've got a lot of options, but just make sure you buy privately and you kind of know what you're doing. And if you don't, bring someone who does. Like, don't buy from a shop, okay? Don't buy from a secondhand shop. It's almost always going to be a scam, or they're just going to they're going to overcharge you. I think the channel name is a pun on watch out. Oh, gotcha. I would pronounce it the same as wow instead of wah. Maybe it's watch out. Yeah. Good eyes, David. I see this channel pop up on my Instagram all the time, and I just never know how to. Are there a lot more new drivers in China? Yeah, so that's another interesting thing about China, is that because it was so poor for so long, people didn't really start to own cars until like the 90s. Like, of course, people had cars before the 90s, but it wasn't something that almost everyone had up until, I would say, the 90s. And I owned the arguably the first affordable kind of everyday car, everyman's car in China. It was the Volkswagen Santana. It was a boxy piece of garbage, and I loved it. And so, you know, prior to the 90s, like nobody had any money to buy a car, and they were very expensive in China because none of them were domestically produced. They were all imported. And once cars became more affordable, or maybe not more, maybe cars didn't become more affordable, but people started to earn more money, and so they were able to buy more cars. They bought cars you wouldn't expect, like Buick, which I don't think is doing particularly all that well in the West, did very well in China, at least in the time when I lived there. Buick was a huge, people loved Buicks in China because the way that one Chinese person explained it to me was that the larger the car, the safer it was. Like, that's what they kind of believed in, and Buicks are kind of larger cars, and so people would buy those. So yeah, the video title translation into English sucks, though, since the channel uses a lot of Taiwan memes. Yeah. Kimco is making low displacement motors for BMW. Really? I didn't know that. Okay, let's get into it. Unfortunately, there's not going to be any audio because when I put my computer back together, we took out the Wi-Fi card, which I also think had Bluetooth in it. And that means I can't connect my headphones. And my wired earphones, which I had, broke a few days ago. So the only audio I have would come out of my speakers, and then that would go into my microphone, and then I think you guys would get some kind of feedback, and it wouldn't sound good. So that's okay. Some of these don't even have audio. Anyways, let's get into it. So we're gonna start with the Taiwanese ones first, with watch out. At least that's what David thinks, that's how it's pronounced, and I think he's probably right. And we'll just go through them and see. Again, no laughing aloud. These are serious matters. And And I think we're starting at the top, which I'm not sure if is most recent. I just missed what happened there. That kid got... Oh, what happened? Was he trying to cross the street or something? He got it right in the guts. Also, another thing, does this have a... Oh, it doesn't. I was kind of hoping it would have like a slider where I can go back and forth with the video, but I can't. So we're just going to have to let it play. That sucks, man. That poor kid. I kind of miss what happened. They show it where it happened to. I used to have a Kimco Racing King way back in the day, and it was a great bike to have. I used to have their motorcycle. Don't remember it because it overheated like a bitch in the summer. Yeah, Kimco motorcycles suck. Oh yeah, it looks like that kid tried to... It looks like the kid dropped something, tried to go pick it up, didn't see the scooter coming somehow, and got hit. I don't think that's the scooter's fault in this case. Yeah, no, Kimco motorcycles aren't the best, but the Racing King's fucking sick. I really want one. It always makes sense to pair Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on the same card because both operate on 2.4. Yeah. No, I know it makes sense, but we took it out because it was a Mac one, because this computer used to be a Hackintosh. So I don't have Bluetooth anymore. Nighttime rides, that's fun. This looks like Taipei probably. Ran a red light. But no accident? Okay, well that was anticlimactic. Just ran a red light. Who cares? Happens all the time. Can I pause? Oh shit. That just... Spacebar goes to the next video. Okay, I can pause. We're gonna play a game. We're gonna predict what happens. Whoever gets the prediction right, you win 10 points. I'm gonna start a timer of 1 minute. Where's my clock? So far we've got a woman. Oh, but the problem is I think there's a delay with the video and what I'm saying, but whatever. Let's start a 1 minute timer. 1.5 minutes. Let's guess what happens. I'll go first. I think I just saw a car run a red light. I'm not really sure. It's kind of hard to tell what's going to happen. But she's got the brakes on and her feet down. So did this just turn green? My guess is I have no idea what's going to happen here. It's going to be a shot in the dark. I'm going to say she's going to get T-boned out of nowhere, but I can't say for sure because it doesn't really look like that can happen. She's got a lot of space on her left. There's some pedestrian walking on her right. I don't really see how she can get T-boned, but I can't really think of anything else. Driving culture or tactics are completely different from other places. It's aggressive, not based on road rights, which makes driving in China notoriously dangerous. Yeah, for sure. A question I always ask, what's the first rule of driving? What's the first rule of driving? Fucking win. I think you said before that you had a big crash in China and the police were a little corrupt. How are the police in Taiwan? There's a lot less corruption here, I find, in Taiwan. And I think it used to be where Taiwanese police would just kind of let you off because they didn't want to have to bother. Time's up, fools. They didn't want to have to bother speaking English, but now a lot of Taiwanese can speak English. And so they will go through and do what they're supposed to do. But I don't know because I don't really have a lot of personal experience with the police here in Taiwan because I haven't had anything go wrong for me, right? Not really. Like I don't know that I'd be able to really answer it because I just don't really have that much experience with Taiwanese police. My most recent experience was I was going to a night market with Miss Zhou, my Chinese friend who was visiting Taiwan, and she was on the back of my scooter. And usually when I have my Taiwanese friends on the back of the scooter, they there's these little feet that click out on the back of your scooter, like foot pegs that they can put their feet. And usually Taiwanese people will click those in. And she didn't, and I forgot to click them in. But it doesn't matter, it's not illegal, it's not against the rules. It just makes it a little bit easier for people to park beside you. And these little foot pegs only stick out a few inches anyway. And so we went off to the night market, and this kid, this Taiwanese kid, he must have been like 18, 19 years old, he parked next to me on his brand new scooter that he just got, and it punched a hole, like the foot peg punched a hole through the front of his scooter. I wasn't on the scooter, I wasn't around the scooter, I was in the night market. And I come back, and him and all his friends are around my stuff. And he's like, is this yours? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, you didn't put your foot peg in. I was like, okay. And he's like, I was trying to park, and I hit your scooter, and it punched a hole through the front of my new... I was like, that sucks, man. But like, it kind of sounds like you just hit my scooter. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. And he's like, well, can we go to the police? And I was like, no, like, this is kind of a waste of time. Like, dude, like, I think he was fresh into university. He just got the scooter. And when you get your first scooter in Taiwan as a Taiwanese kid, you know, it's your first sense of freedom. You can go anywhere you want. You don't have to rely on public transportation. Your parents don't have to drive you around. You're in university, you know, girls start looking at you, whatever, I don't know. And he obviously spent all of his money on the scooter, a lot of money on this scooter. And so it fucking sucks that a hole got punched through the front. It wasn't like a big, it was like a little, you know, like the foot peg went through the plastic. And I felt for the kid, but I was like, dude, you drove into my shit. Like, I wasn't even here. I don't know. But I was like, listen, if you want, like, if I get it, it sucks. If you want to go to the police station, maybe your insurance will need some kind of paperwork, whatever. I don't know. Like, if you even want to get it fixed. But, you know, the police was just like, fuck off. This is a waste of time. So they didn't help at all, because it was so minor. And I told the kid, like, listen, I'm a foreigner, and so it feels weird having to explain, like, the culture to you, but your stuff in Taiwan and in China is gonna get scratched, it's gonna get banged up, it's gonna get, like, you can't, I know how it feels. It's a new thing, and you want to keep it new, and you want to keep it fresh, and you want to take care of it. And I respect that stewardship, because I feel the same way about my stuff. But you're just going to have to accept the reality that these things are going to happen, and it sucks, but there's nothing you can do about it. And that's life. And it sucks. And that's why I've also never understood why people here in Taiwan buy things like Mercedes or BMW or really expensive cars, because they're just going to get scratched. Like, the people don't give a shit, especially with scooters. Like, I see Taiwanese people all the time, you know, if they're waiting for their food or something outside of a restaurant, they'll just sit on a scooter to rest. But it's not their scooter, it's someone else's stuff. In the West, that's very different. Like, you would never touch someone else's car or someone else's motorcycle. But it's a little bit different here. Okay, rear end. And no cheating, by the way. You can't go look at them ahead of time. I think Joseph might be right. I think he's right with a rear end. First rule around the world is you don't hit anything ever. Okay, yeah. Wait, what? Didn't you have a crash with an ama? Dude, I've had loads of crashes with an ama. And didn't you take her fruit to compensate? That was a different story. That was something else. That was in China, and I threw water out of a window. I was helping at a scooter crash, was surprised that I was not allowed to, move the scooter out of the way. Safety hazard in a busy intersection. You should take pictures and videos to prove you are innocent. Yeah, no, yeah, we did take photos and videos, by the way, of the situation I'm talking about. But yeah, you're right. In Taiwan, you can't move anything. I think it's for insurance or it's for the police. I don't know. Like, even if your shit is like in the middle of the road, or in the way, or could be potentially dangerous, you can't move it. Okay, Joseph says rear end. I think you're probably right. Let's see was it Joseph that said that? It was Joseph, right? Rear end, yeah, Joseph. Let's see. 10 points to Joseph. Nope. it was just some old guy who doesn't give a fuck. Jesus. He didn't get hit. We were all wrong. Okay, it wasn't even a crash. What the fuck? That guy doesn't give a shit. I love how he mad dogs the dude in a scooter, like, what, you're not going to stop? Just right in front of traffic. Good Lord. Kay didn't see that coming. God damn. That guy doesn't give a shit. That guy doesn't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't. Wow. Good one. All right, Joseph, we didn't win 10 points. Okay, this one was quick. I don't even know what happened here. We got a car, and it's exactly as I said. It is exact, and I promise you I didn't cheat. I probably said this in the beginning. I didn't look at these videos ahead of time. I haven't seen these, but I knew we were gonna see it. That's a Toyota Corolla Cross, I think, or a RAV4. I can't really tell. Anyways, he's trying to turn right. You can see him come across the screen, and he's trying to turn right. But there's a scooter who's going by him, and he doesn't see it, and runs right into him. Boom. Yeah, that scooter was tucked into his blind spot. That's a bad place to be, man. When you're on a scooter, you can't even see the scooter through the whole video. You can't even see the scooter until the scooter tries to pull ahead. Because the scooter at this point has two choices, right? He can brake, and hopefully not get hit by the car, or he can use the power and go forward. And he chose to do the power, but it wasn't enough. The scooter's too slow, and he got took it out. Good one. I feel like I should get a point for predicting that. But this type of accident happens all the time. Also, I feel like that car is kind of flying by there. Next. Yep. Bam. Done like dinner. So the car is obviously at fault because he's not stopping for nobody. So there's two types of lights in Taiwan. This is one of them, where it's just red, yellow, and green. And on these ones, you can turn left at your discretion. And the other kind, you have to wait until the light will have a green arrow pointing left, and only then can you turn left. But these kind of lights where they leave it up to the driver's discretion, that just means the driver goes whenever the hell he wants. And sometimes what happens is, like, you would assume the safest thing to do would be to wait, give way to all these people who are going forward, and then you turn left. But a lot of people don't want to wait, and they'll try and turn left before we have the ability to move forward, and that's what he tried to do. And unfortunately, the scooter didn't see it coming, and he got a beat down. Doesn't see it coming that whole time. This is the thing, like, your vision, he must have a mask on, or his peripheral vision's gone or something. I mean, you wouldn't expect a car to be doing that anyway, but, like, you gotta have your head on a swivel, RAV4 in the blind spot, yeah. It's called a right cross. When turning right, the driver needs to move into the scooter or bike line before the turn, which he probably did, dressed in black clothes at night. I mean, I've often wondered if the maneuver is legal in Taiwan. It's crazy. I'll turn left and beat everyone's move is so common in Taiwan. I don't know if it's legal or not, actually. That's a good question, but it happens that happens all the time. Like, one thing I think a lot of people need to learn when they're driving in Taiwan is that just because the light is green does not fucking mean you should go, because people are cutting the red lights coming the other way. They're trying to beat the red lights. And you gotta look left and right. Even though your light is green, you still need to look left and right, because that happens all the time. Or you gotta watch out for these fuckers too, because they will try and cut in front of you. Happens all the time. That is not an accident, it's a crash. An accident is when a tree falls on you. Yeah, I mean, we can get into semantics about, like, they're not really, we don't call them car accidents anymore, where they're called collisions, because accidents aren't a thing if you just follow the rules. Dawn time, dressed in black, worst time to ride, usually people getting off work. I mean, if you're talking about this guy, I don't think it's the scooter's fault, really. Like, if you took away everything else, you could argue that that car is gunning for him, like he's trying to hit him, you know? It's a Honda CR-V. That's a good car. Alan owned one. Next! Hey, here we got an overhead camera. These are everywhere in Taiwan. Rear-ended. Oh, that one looks bad. And he keeps going! Is this, Dude, this looks personal. That or he's lost his brakes. But like, if you look, he's not even in the middle of the lane. Is that a Mazda 3? And he's not in the middle of in his lane. Like, he's over to the right, like he's trying to hit that person on the scooter. I'm gonna guess that this is personal. I'm gonna guess this is like the old sanbao. Sanbao is a Taiwanese term for the three treasures, which is old people who drive terribly. They call them sanbao. Blindly ran off the motorcycle. It looks personal. It looks like a beef or something. Like, look, watch how he's in the right-hand side. See? Boom. Hits the scooter and just fucks off. Doesn't even stop. It looks like he hits the scooter twice, too. that poor dude's just sitting there like, what the fuck? He's lucky he's okay, though. That could have gone way worse. In Australia, green means floor it. In Taiwan, green means look 5 ways before. Yeah, dude, look up before you go through a fucking green light. Intentional. Yeah, I'm with Joseph on this one. This one looks intentional as hell. Like, the watch out channel here in Chinese is saying that it's a sanbao, like an old person who doesn't know what they're doing. And I mean, they're the one with the video, so they're probably right. But it does look intentional as hell. Road rage, yeah, could be. I'm with you on that one. All right, what the fuck? Dude, I'm driving away. I'm already driving away. Yeah. This dude is on like ketamine or something. What the fuck? Yeah, this guy's got like this guy's not thinking right. Man, just drive away. I would have driven away. I wouldn't even have stopped for this dude. Honest to God. That's something, again, you live in China, you live in Taiwan. Like, just the other day, I was riding and I saw that same accident we saw before where a dude was turning right and smashed into a scooter. And everyone just drives by because they're so common here. And if I'm seeing this dude in the middle of the night in the middle of the road, fuck off. I'm driving away. Oh, nice. What a park. Oh, fucking jeez. How the fuck? How the fuck did you manage that? You know what I think happened here? It's a new driver who mistook the gas and the brake pedal. He'd be crazy. Looks like a gangster for real, off his meds. No, he didn't. Certain parts of the world, you would hit this guy to get away because someone is trying to steal your car. Yeah. Like in South Africa, people do that all the time. Like South Africa, like people get carjacked all the time. Did you ever drive a car in China? Yeah, I did. I did have a car, and I've got videos of me driving a car. Me and Seamlook did a road trip up to Shaoguan. It was really fun. Yeah, I think this person just mistook the brake and the gas pedal, and just that's going to cost a lot of money. Oh, man. He's lucky he didn't tip over. I guess it really wouldn't matter. Next! Oh, Rolls Royce. Or, yeah, that's a Rolls. Slowly merging into, yeah, I hit a bus. Fuck, that sucks. That fucking sucks. That sucks so fucking bad. It looks like he's missing his exit. And so he's trying to get over and he just hit a bus. I think the problem, this is when you let your girlfriend drive your car. Yeah, dude. I think what happened here is that this person is driving this car for the first time, which has a ridiculously long hood, and I think he just didn't understand how long that hood actually is. And boop, just gave the bus a little kiss. Happens. So far, these aren't that bad. Are you going to hit a pedestrian? Nope. Are you going to get rear-ended? Nope, you're just going to drive through the toll booth. Oh, man. Nicely done. Waits, bows, that's nice. Passes in a double line and gets pissed off. And now we've got a road rage incident. Yeah, just a bunch of yelling, but we can't hear it. Okay. Boom, rear-ended. How did this happen? This is the bridge from Taipei into New Taipei. How did this happen? So the person whose camera the scooter is on just stopped suddenly. Like, watch, he just stops. Oh, because the ambulance. I didn't see the ambulance. Ah. Yeah, that's tough because you're too late. Like, you should stop. Like, you shouldn't even be going here. All these people moving shouldn't be because there's an ambulance coming. And you could argue that maybe they didn't hear the ambulance and so they decided, I'm going to stop now. But in my mind, just go. Like, you've already fucked up. Like, just go. I mean, I guess he's worried about getting hit by the ambulance. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. It's an old guy for sure. Got more money than skill. Yeah, with the Rolls Royce for sure. Yeah, like you shouldn't, none of these people should be going, but it seems like no one heard the ambulance somehow. And then he got rear-ended. Sight fixation. Yeah. All right, got a scooter going around a corner. Gonna run into this old lady, boom! Fucking hell. I was actually just a kid. Again, zero fucking spatial awareness, like I said, none. And I don't think this person on the scooter is driving that fast. I'll just have one more look to see how fast he's going. Pulls the right-hand corner. I mean, yeah, this girl just didn't. You can tell she kind of looked left and then looked right. But by the time she was ready to cross the street, there was cars coming from the left. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll switch to the China side. What was the last one we did? Didn't see this one. Nice new Camry. And we're gonna get cut off by a scooter. And he's gonna stop for no reason. And are we in a yelling match? Is that what's happening? I don't care about yelling matches. See what I mean by no sidewalks? Like this is a 2-lane road somehow. There's no way, I don't, oh God. How does an accident happen here? But you see what I mean? No sidewalks. It's such a fucking ball ache for pedestrians or this poor old woman on a bicycle. Nothing happened. It looks like they're just stuck. I don't really get it. Whatever. Yep. That happens all the time too. So, like I said before, there's two different kinds of lights, right? And this kind of light is the other kind with the left-hand turn. So you need this arrow. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, if it's too small or not, but this arrow will switch to a left-handed arrow, and only then can you go. But this person didn't wait and just decided to turn left for fun. And all these people on the scooter just get destroyed. Yeah. Shame. I hate those intersections. The white car is stuck. The car trying to go forward is stuck. Yeah. I just don't think that road should be a 2-lane road. Holy Christ! Our guy just crashed into a river? Jesus. You must have lost the brakes or something. Because you're not even going straight. Like, you can't go straight. Nice. All right, China's. You can tell if you ever want to know if it's in China or Taiwan, 1, there'll be simplified characters instead of traditional, and 2, their license plates are blue. Yeah, and this is another common problem too on Chinese highways. If there's huge traffic jams, some people will just drive in the emergency lane because they just couldn't be bothered to wait. Happens all the time. And people will fucking fly down that emergency lane. And this happens all the time too. God damn. Oh, Tokyo drifted that shit. God damn. Kind of hats off to I mean, the truck driver made a bad move, but it kind of hats off for that little drift. That was kind of sick. This happens all the time too, because the rule of thumb in China, generally speaking, let me grab my water. Generally speaking, the rule of thumb in China is the faster you go, the safer you are. Because your responsibility is only to care about the people that are in front of you, and that's what you're reacting to. But anything happening behind you is completely not your concern. You don't have to check your blind spot because that's behind you. You don't have to check your rear view because that's behind you. If they're behind you, then they are reacting to you. And so people are constantly trying to get ahead of each other because the further along you are, or the more ahead you are of other cars, the less responsibility you have. And so it creates this kind of race. So like that truck is behind these 2 cars, and so the truck is trying to react to these 2 cars. So what he wants to do is get ahead, and then that way everyone has to react to him, which feels a bit safer because now all of a sudden it's not your responsibility. And that's kind of busted that to me in Taiwan while I was driving Taichung to Alishan. Having flashbacks, yes, flashbacks. Same in Taiwan, people will drive on the shoulder. Okay, yeah. Yeah, they do that too sometimes here. Medical condition, yeah. So I just realized, because there's a bit of a delay between what I'm doing in the comments. I once accidentally crashed my scooter into 2 girls on a scooter delivering food to their mosque. Poor girls were covered in curry. I hope you're okay, but that is funny. Yeah, anyways, and that rule kind of applies to Taiwan as well, but maybe not as much. Like, and in fact, and speaking of blind spots, like Chinese people will hang curtains in their car to cover the windows while they're driving. Like they literally will only look out their front window. That's it. And that's just how you drive. Which is also another reason, by the way, why you hear people in China honk so much. Like China's a very loud place. There's a lot of like noise pollution, and it's because no one checks their blind spots or looks behind them. They honk to let you know that they are around you because they know that you're not looking. Most of the world rules of the road, the biggest vehicle has the right of way, except the military, they trump all. Yeah, for sure. And in China, for sure, like the bigger the car, the bigger you have a bigger right of way. These look like some street racers or something. What's really crazy is that motorcycle is definitely not allowed. Wow! I was about to say definitely not allowed. Maybe he is allowed on this road, but I'm not sure. But either way, that car just made damn sure he's not going to be riding for a while. One thing I'm always really scared of is that they have these drainage ditches. That's what his motorcycle is sitting in right now and what he's kind of resting in. I'm always so scared of crashing in those because there's so many different ways you can get caught. What is that? A Porsche Taycan or something? I can't really tell. You are goddamn right on the faster, the safer driving philosophy in China, bro. You are the expert in social science. I don't know if I'm an expert. Dude, I just crashed a lot. And so these are my conclusions. I wouldn't call myself an expert. Parking lot accidents. Hell yeah. My guess is someone's going to back out without looking. But I could be wrong. It's a pretty big parking lot. It would be pretty hard to hit someone here. Nope, not going to happen here. Ah! She's going the wrong way down the road on a sidewalk. That'll do it. No helmet. That'll do it. So these scooters are allowed in China because they're electric, and depending on where you are, you have to wear a helmet. I mean, you have to wear a helmet everywhere, but like how much is it enforced depends on kind of where you are. These roads are super common in China, especially where I used to live in Henan. It looked a lot like this. Just flat gray skies, kind of uninspiring. I didn't really like riding here. I'm not saying it's in Henan, I'm just saying it looks a lot like this. Are we just not stopping for this red light? No? Okay. How did you do that? Even this woman is like, how did you manage that? I was using autonomous driving mode. Bullshit! You're on your phone, friend. 100% you are on your phone. There's no goddamn way. There's no fucking way you were using autonomous driving mode. I mean, maybe it's shit. I don't know. But I have a funny feeling you were on your phone. Because... yeah, they all got to get out and look at the damage and freak out about it. So these things, these dividers, I do apologize for constantly pausing the video, but there's so many little things I remember from my time in China. These started popping up everywhere when I lived there. These kind of white fence things in the middle, it's to stop jaywalkers from running across the street because it was so common where either people walking or driving cars, like let's say you're in the parking lot on the right-hand side here and you want to turn left, like they would just... you know, whenever they want to turn left, it would cause a ton of accidents. So they put these barriers up to stop pedestrians and cars from cutting across the middle of the road. My guess is, yeah, right here. Someone with a dead battery on their scooter just, oh no, I was wrong. I was looking the wrong way. Jesus. Can you just, if we break this down, which I know is not fun to do, there is 1,000 different things that can go wrong at this intersection. Okay, my eyes first are here in the middle. This is where my eyes are, because I'm constantly worried about people trying to turn left in front of me. But then I see this woman with a dead scooter battery just crossing the road. Now this is a crosswalk, so you're supposed to stop. But remember, this is China, and fucking no one stops for crosswalks. So these crosswalks don't actually mean anything, okay? So no one actually stops for these. And there's no lights or stop signs. Like, stop signs don't exist in China. Or they're at least incredibly uncommon. So my eyes are here, because I don't want to hit this woman, so I'm stopped. But out of fucking nowhere, a different person on a different scooter just decides to cross through the middle of the road and gets absolutely wrecked by, what is that, a Lexus? Yeah, absolutely took it out. I kind of do wish we had audio. I just doesn't give a shit. That person in the Lexus is nothing they can do. Like, that accident's gonna happen no matter what the person in the Lexus does. She's fine, by the way. Totally fine. No one panic. That same distracted driving cell phone for sure. Tokyo Babacat says, I fell in a drain ditch while riding in the mountains between Taichung and Hualien. It was wet and there was rocks on the road, and in I went. Took 4 people to get my bike out of the ditch. That fucking sucks. That's like one of my fears, man. Driving into one of those. BYD autonomous is trash, so it can happen. I know it can happen, but after seeing like how many people are on their phones while driving in China and in Taiwan, my guess is they were on their phone. That's my guess. I've often wondered why Taiwan doesn't bother to put grills over the side drains. I think, I could be wrong, it's because people might drive over them and then they break, and then, you know, the government gets in shit because people fall into the drain. Or it could be that leaves and other things fall onto it, could start to block the drain, and then all of a sudden you don't have a drain anymore. Costs? I don't know. Tokyo Sam in the chat, just rub some dirt in it, do a little stretching, they'll be fine. What's up, Papa Sam in the chat, my boy? Yeah, I don't know why they don't cover them, but those are just a few reasons why I think they might not cover it. What the fuck is happening here? Multiple collisions are involved on the highway. How? How the fuck did that happen? She's fine. She's fine. We're moving on. I don't even understand how that happened. Like, that just a car, that looks like AI almost. Like a car crash just fucking came out of nowhere. Like, it's solid white line, so no one's supposed to be crossing. One of the worst things about riding in Taiwan is the amount of manhole covers, metal sewer coverings that seem to be in every lane of every road. Yeah. What up, Sam? Yeah, yeah, sometimes the manhole covers, and they're fucking dangerous too. Okay, gruesome video I watched. I'm not going to show it to you. But my ex-girlfriend's sister's high school friend got her head crushed by a cement truck and died. And I saw the video because the thing about Taiwan is that there are security, like CCTV, like secure, like public, it's not public, how do you, like just, you're on camera all the time in Taiwan. It's kind of like the UK. And so there's cameras pointed fucking everywhere. And so pretty much every car accident is recorded. And she, like I said before, scooters stay on the right-hand side of the road, right? So oftentimes they are trapped between the sidewalk or whatever it is on the right-hand side and cars. And a cement truck was passing her and she hit a manhole cover, which was like, it wasn't level with the road. I guess the manhole cover was lifted up or on an angle, or they didn't cement it down properly. Whatever the case, you see it all the time in Taiwan. And it threw her off her scooter. She hit it and just got thrown to the left. Like, I've never seen, actually, usually if you hit a manhole cover that's maybe indented or is odd, like you just kind of, it's a big bump, but it's not, you know, the end of the world. But I guess this one was enough to where she got thrown to the left and her head, she landed so her head just perfectly went under the wheels of this truck. And it was just, I mean, you know, you can fill in the rest with your imagination. Alan's in the chat. Hello, what's up, what's up? Got all my homies in here. I got Sam and Alan in here. Anyways, yeah, that's my gruesome story. Not even my story, it's just the video I watched. In Mongolia, people used to steal manhole covers, had to be really careful riding a bike there. God damn. What would they steal them for? Like melt them down for steel or something? Good thing about Japan is that the cars and bikes have no power and the speed limit is low, so you'll be able to react most of the time. That fucking sucks though, because I find the speed limit to be somewhat low in some roads here in Taiwan, and I find it ruins it. And the other problem with Taiwan is that I think Taiwan has the most speed cameras of like any country or something like that. If I had to, I don't know. I don't have the stats in front of me, but if I had to guess, they have speed traps fucking everywhere, and it's annoying, and it takes away from the enjoyment of driving, in my opinion. Also, most people in Japan actually give way to pedestrians. Yeah, we don't do that in China or Taiwan. Pedestrians, you're poor, okay? What are you, walking? You don't deserve to live. I'm not gonna give way to some fucking broke-ass pedestrian. Get fucked. I don't understand how this accident happened or what kind of dramatic shit is going on here. It's hugging each other for emotional support. What the fuck? So it looks like they have descriptions here, so we don't really have to guess, but it looks like another case of being on your phone. Why do they leave all this stuff in? Just cut to the good part. I don't know. I don't think it's the phone. I don't think it's the phone. I think what's happening here is you have this Suzuki. It looks like a Suzuki Swift or something. Is that a Suzuki or some kind of Chinese brand? I thought it was a Suzuki. I don't know. It looks, or a Hyundai. Looks like a Hyundai. He wants to come into the left lane, so his eyes are probably on the Hyundai and just doesn't see the sudden braking. Bam. The Haval. I think that's what's happened. At least that's what, if I was in this car, that's my excuse. Because this Hyundai's got his left turn signal on. I'm thinking, oh shit, he's coming over. Whoop, emergency brake. Bingo. That's not so bad. That's a little bump. I'm sure everybody's fine. Buses are never fun in China. They don't give a fuck. That fucking sucks. What is that? He's trying to tell the driver of the truck that he's dropping his load. That sucks. Tunnel driving. Okay. I think this is pretty common, so this guess might not be very good, but I think what's happening is because the tunnel is dark and outside is bright, you can't see what's in the tunnel, and it's probably a traffic jam that comes out of nowhere. I was wrong. Never mind. No 10 points to me. This could be anything. It could be someone on the left side or the right side using the emergency lane. Could be a fucking... Oh, we got rear-ended. These are kind of minor little bumpers. Did we get rear-ended or did you just brake hard? Is someone going to come from the right side while we're trying to enter the emergency lane? Again, this is so common. They just use... I don't know what happened there. I guess they got rear-ended. Taking the wrong lane, made an illegal solid lane change. And he's like lane splitting in a full-blown SUV. Hey, it's Shanghai. And the truck's not letting him go. Baller move by the truck. Hell yeah. Hang on, I want to read Sam's comment here. Dude, I got into a bike accident 2 years ago, right where cameras were. The cops knew the location and the exact time. Went to the police station and they never looked into it. Fucking jackasses. That happens to me all the time, dude. Happens, at least in China. You know, I had a bike stolen and I went to the police and they were like, yeah, there's cameras there, but we don't have the footage. And like every single time that's the case because they just don't want to bother. They just don't want to bother. Also, most people, okay, yeah. Taiwan has a lot of them, but I think China beats everyone. Manhole covers every 100 meters or less on the same road in every road in the city. I don't really remember in China. Not only does the truck not let him go, he just straight up runs into the SUV. Some people, they just don't give a shit. I'm also surprised at how many of these accidents in China are on the highway. Oh, oh. Big old pile up. This happens a lot too. And it happens in Taiwan too. Emergency brake, like just traffic jams that come out of nowhere and you have to slam on the brakes. And what happens here, they put their four-ways on, their hazards on to warn people that they're braking heavily. Just not stopping. They don't care. They don't care. I don't understand this. That's a nice Volvo. Like she's just going. She doesn't give a shit. You can tell she just doesn't know how to drive. She doesn't know what the fuck she's doing. Like, if we stop here, she's made the decision to go, and she thinks there's enough room here where we can brake, and there is. And she also thinks on the other side of the road she can go. Just doesn't give a shit. This looks like a road where no one expects to be on. You know what I mean? Like he's pulling out here thinking no one's ever on this road, so I may as well just go without looking. Wrecked. That looks like a petrol-powered scooter, though, and you're not allowed to have that. More tunnels. The dash cam vehicle braked, but the following vehicle failed to react in time, resulting in a rear-end collision. It's probably not going to be that bad. See? A Buick. Told you. Buicks, super popular in China. Once he's showing the depth, that's not a big thing. These are like little bumper or whatever. Not that bad. Holy shit. Oh shit. Oh, we're going for a ride. Oh god damn. Oh god damn. Oh, we died. We are dead. Subsequent collision resulted in the driver's immediate fatality. What the fuck? Poor nighttime. This must be for the next clip, right? Not this clip. Oh, subsequent conclusion. Yeah, sorry. I thought this one we died. What I was reading is for the next. Never lost a cigarette. Yeah. I thought it was for this video that we died. I don't think. It looks like he just rolled down the mountain, which I'm sure isn't fun. Excuse me. But I don't think we died here. I think the next one we die. I'm glad he told us, because if you don't want to watch it, now's a good time to click away. I think it's this one. Poor nighttime visibility. This looks like I don't want to say it's not Taiwan, it's China. One with the flashlight as a safety vehicle. Is it snowing? What the fuck? What happened? Was that like a trailer? I should probably read the rest of this. Under poor nighttime visibility conditions, the vehicle struck a protruding cargo from a freight truck, causing a complete A-pillar fracture on the dash cam equipment. So this guy just got his head cut off, straight up. And this happens a lot too, and you have to be careful with it, because I've seen this happen so many times where I'm riding in Taiwan or China, and a forklift will be parked on the side of the road, but they'll leave the forklift part of the forklift, you know, the forks, sticking out onto the road. And so you either hit them and go ass over tits, or they leave the forks on the up position and you just get decapitated. I don't see people hit them all the time, but I do see them parked in that position. I drive around them. Excuse me. Or they'll leave like pieces of plumbing hanging out the back of at the back of a truck. And people hit those with their heads all the time. Yeah, I mean, this dash cam quality is shit anyway. Like, I can't even tell what's hanging out of the back of the truck. But That sucks. Doesn't look too bad on our end. Oh, yeah, straight up. Look at that Chinese quality. That A-pillar just snapped right in half. God damn, and it's like an off-road vehicle as well. Which is supposed to have extremely strong A-pillars, right? Because those cars, if it's an off-road vehicle, they get flipped over all the time. Impaled, yeah, looks like it. God damn. Got more from Taiwan. It's only 6 minutes, but they're pretty fun to watch. I mean, we can learn from them is what I meant to say. That was impressive. I think the other thing too, what the fuck? How does this even happen? How does that happen? Oh, he wants to turn right but doesn't see the massive truck? That doesn't make sense. Now that looks like he tried to do it. Insurance claim. Diane's in the chat. What's up, Diane? Didn't even see what happened there. Someone's trying to turn right. Someone's trying to go straight. Not sure. And we're just going to go ahead and hit this Toyota and flip over. Why not? Little party trick for you. Oh. This happens a lot too. So a lot of people won't replace their tires. And then eventually they lock up and down you go. All right, ready? We're going to stop it here. We'll go a little bit more. We'll stop it here. Never mind. We already know what's going to happen. I stopped it too late. Someone just came out of fucking nowhere and decided to cause an accident. Oh! I hope this person's okay, but that was a pretty sick slide. Whoop. Here's what's impressive about this. He stayed on that bike for way longer. You should know the fact that in China, people can actually buy their driver's license from Taobao even 10 years ago. My sister is a very bad driver. She bought her driver's license. Oh, for sure, dude, for sure. I'm sure in Taiwan, too, people buy their I wouldn't be surprised if people bought licenses. But anyways, with this next one, look how long this slide is. This is actually, I mean, it sucks he crashed, okay? But I am impressed with how long, because usually you high side, you know, which is what happens here. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. That's almost a 3-second slide and he didn't fall off. Because usually what happens is like you start to slide and then suddenly your tires catch grip and it just fucking launches you over to the other side. But this person actually held that slide. That was kind of impressive. What? Oh, what the fuck? What the fuck happened? This is a multi-crash here. So we have a car getting out of the way of this person, and then this person just gets hit by another car. Dude, you gotta get the fuck off the road, friend. Oh, that one didn't look good. I'm not gonna play that one again. All right, let's stop it here. Again, I've never seen these videos. I'm going to give you guys some time. Let's make guesses. What's going to happen? This looks like, I don't know, I'm guessing Taipei because it looks too developed to be Taichung. My guess is our light is green, but there's still people in the intersection waiting for, you know, traffic. Which means pedestrians don't know what the fuck to do. My guess is a pedestrian's gonna be, no, that's probably wrong. Man, these are tough, and I've got a lot of experience. But my guess is maybe there's a pedestrian hiding out somewhere in the crosswalk that's covered by the bus and the cars, you know, that we can't see, that maybe will come into play. Or someone's just gonna straight up run a red light. Right? Because this turned green and we all just went and no one's looking. And oftentimes there's still cars coming even though our light's green. Turning right on the left side, going straight onto the right side. Happens all the time in Taiwan. Yeah. Front wheel lock up. Now that was a rear wheel lock up. If it was a front wheel lock up, you'd be gone. If it was a front wheel lock up, then it doesn't make sense that the rear wheel comes around, right? Like a drift. If we're talking about the same video. I learned to drive in Taiwan. If you can drive there, you can drive anywhere. Always look both ways on a one-way street in Taiwan. Yeah, I don't know if you could drive anywhere. Like, I keep hearing people talk about driving in Thailand or Vietnam, and that seems like a way more dangerous or a chaotic place to drive. Dressed in black, T-bone time. Hey, Prozzy, just got off work. What's up, Mango Gecko? Hope you had a good day. All right, so what do we guess? We guess T-bone time with Joseph. Joseph's the only one guessing. And again, I think Joseph's, I don't know if he's right, but when I look at this situation, that's all I can really guess. Unless that truck, you guys can't really see it. I can't really see it either, but it looks like there's a truck carrying giant cylinders. Maybe they'll just decide to fall off the prior one. Yeah, I think that was a rear wheel lockup though. Yeah, maybe that truck will decide to drop its thing. Don't even know what the hell happened there. It's kind of hard to see. It looks like someone comes out behind this white van. Yeah. It's really hard to see, but it looks like there's a white van there. These in China are called mianbaozi because they look like bread. Loaves of bread, and I think they delivered bread as well. Someone just comes out from behind it and just takes everyone out. All right, we're gonna stop it here. No, we're not. Never mind. Manhole cover? What the fuck is that? What did she hit? These go by quick. Hang on. What the fuck? It looks like there's trash on the road, like a trash bag. And she braked or something to try and get around it and just couldn't handle it. And yeah, see, that's a front wheel brake, or the truck hit her. Yeah, it looks like the truck and the trash were kind of squeezing her in, and she panicked and hit the brakes, and that is what a front wheel lockup looks like. Unless she hit something, but it looks like she locked up the front brakes. And we all know what's gonna happen. This one's obvious. What T-bone I just joined. We're looking at car accidents, and then we're playing this little, me and Joseph, anyways, are playing a little game, Blue Truck of Death. Yeah. Let's start a poll. This one might be a bit biased, but you know, chat, we gotta have the poll. Front wheel lockup, yeah. I can't drive, so I can't really contribute to this conversation. No, you can just watch and enjoy. Hit the brakes too hard. Yeah, for sure. I think what's happening here is because whoever's driving this car doesn't seem to really give a shit. And so we're just turning left. It looks like we're about to get the left-hand turn. I don't know why I'm pointing with my finger because you guys can't see what I'm pointing at. Let's use the mouse, Prozzy, you fucking idiot. We're about to get the left-hand turn. And I think this person, you can barely see them on the scooter. I think we're gonna hit them for fun. 15 points if we hit the scooter. Are we ready? Let's see if I'm right. Nope, the scooter's gonna... Shit! Okay, that scooter did get hit, just not by us. I was right and wrong. Did I go too far? How the fuck? See, I thought we were gunning for the scooter. Okay, but no. They hit each other, but if they didn't hit each other, we would have definitely hit them anyway. I don't know, that was a pretty wild one. All right. Oh, we got an old lady mobile. Yeah, mobility scooter or whatever you call these things. Do we have these in North America? They're kind of like the Walmart scooters, but they're sheltered, kind of. And she just got rear-ended. Nice. And bingo! This person ran a red light. Yeah. Just not looking. No situational awareness. Let's stop it here. Any guesses? Any guesses what's going to happen? Really tough to tell. We got a bus going by. I'm not really giving you enough information. Should I have stopped it there? Bummer scooter. Yeah, let's play a little bit more and stop. It looks like the scooter on our left is going to run this red light, but I don't know. Could be. I feel like there's too much of a delay between what I'm saying and what you guys are seeing. So it's kind of hard to wait for your guys' guesses. So far, China has 100% of the votes for the worst drivers. And we got 10 votes so far. Damn. Scooter will hit on the right. Scooter will hit on the right. Will get hit from the right? Oh, you think we're going to hit the scooter? Mobility ancestor tablet. Mobile ancestor tablet. T-bone time, says Joseph again. Joseph loves his T-bone steaks. T-bone time. I think the scooter's going to try and run this red. It's still heaven on AME thinks that we're going to hit the scooter on the right. Joseph thinks it's going to be a T-bone. Jay says something will slide into the scooter. I don't know. Mango Gecko says, I saw some old dude on a scooter cut right in front of the bus I was in and all the way across the road last month. He was fine, but he got yelled at by the bus driver. Yeah, I bet. He's fucking lucky. All right, let's see who's right. Oh, that was a nice bike. Wait, hang on. That's a Harley, I think. No, it isn't. It's not a Harley. I don't know what the fuck this is, but there's too big of a gap between the engine and the gas tank, I think, for that to be a Harley. It could be, but I don't know what that is. Okay, who said came from the right? You were right. You get 10 points. Jay, I think, might have been the one. Something will slide into the scooter. Scooter will get hit on the right. I think Jay got that one. 10 points. This person this person runs the red light a little bit. There's 2 seconds left on that light. I know that's really hard to see, but the lights in Taiwan count down, so you can tell when it's going to turn green. So it goes 3, 2, and she's trying to go. You know, she's trying to cut ahead a little bit, and then, yeah, that just didn't work out for her. This one's kind of shit quality, too hard to see what's happening, but we get cut off. Are they going to crash? Looks like they're headed right for that scooter. Bing! Off he goes. That guy probably lost his life right there. So I think what this is, this looks like a bucket of concrete that got stuck to the ground. Like, this looks like it fell off. It looks like it was a wet bucket of concrete that fell off the back of a truck, cemented itself to the ground, because this person clips it with his exhaust pipe and it sends them fucking flying. Like, that thing is stuck to the ground, I think. Scooter's going to the batter box. Did not see that coming. Yeah. T-bone, 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 T-bone. Oh man, Joseph's all about that T-bone. There's a guy who goes to work at a KFC near me on a Harley. Really? In Taiwan? Looks like a shopping bag. I thought it was, but it looks like it's stuck to the ground. Because if you look, he doesn't hit it with the front. Look, he hits it with the back of his scooter. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't move. Like that thing stays where it is. So it looks like it's cemented to the ground. Or something like rebar or something, I don't know what the fuck, is sticking out of the ground and someone put a bucket around it to warn the drivers. And it just wasn't. Oh, it does look like it is a shopping bag. But how is it so solidly stuck to the ground? This is a fucking mystery to me, people. Bing. Like, it doesn't move at all. I don't know. It does look like a shopping bag. Yeah, apparently he's rich and just doing it for fun. That's pretty cool, though. Have a Harley and work at KFC. The blue bike just oversteers. I don't know. Like, maybe he locked up his brakes, but it looks, if he did, I mean, I don't know. All right, a highway scene. My guess is someone is gonna decide that, oh my God, this is my exit, and cut across. That's my guess. Maybe something really heavy inside. I mean, it would have to be a bag of rocks. It would have to be fucking heavy to cause that. Oh, I'm right. Yep. Just cutting across, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lanes of traffic. Fucking well done. Where does he start from? So where are we? Behind that truck? He starts in the fast lane. I'm just trying to think, on what fucking planet does he think he's gonna make this? Like, I don't. This looks like just like pure panic and just praying to God you don't get hit, and it just didn't work out. Okay, it's not funny. I hope this person's okay. It's just the way they bounced is a little bit funny. Boing! Oh, it sucks. Oh my God, that sucks. I can only imagine, like, because her handlebars just go right into her chest. That fucking sucks. That's the city camera. Bike missed the bag. It looks like he hit it, though. I don't know. Remember that Family Guy cutaway? This is exactly it, for fucking sure, yeah. All right, Mountain Road, I'm going to guess someone doesn't stick to their lane. That's my guess. Yep. Nope, that person just straight up drives into the oncoming traffic for fun. How did you do that? I don't understand. I don't understand this accident. How did you manage that? Like, he's going around a corner and he completes most of the corner, but then halfway through the corner, he just gives up turning and drives straight into this Volkswagen. What are these called? Caravels? I actually kind of want one. That'd be really cool for camping. He just gives up cornering and just decides to run into traffic. That makes no sense. Brake failure and panicking. It could be overheated brakes. You know what's stupid? My laptop right now is running its fans at like really high speeds, and it's not even the computer I'm using to fucking live stream right now. Yeah, it could be overheated brakes, but why would you drive into a car though? I don't know. All right, someone's gonna run a red light. Someone's gonna run a red light, for sure. We have a fresh green. Someone's gonna run a red light for sure. Mountain roads in Taiwan are scary. Yeah, they fucking can be. The car always goes where the driver looks, focusing on oncoming traffic rather than the trajectory of the corner, and bam. Yeah, like target fixation. Maybe, but like usually I feel like target fixation happens more when you're pushing your limits. I could be wrong, I could be. I'm just speaking from my own experience when I'm riding my motorcycle. If I'm kind of pushing it a little bit around a corner, I find target fixation, it happens when I'm doing that. But if you're just like, that guy was not driving that fast, you know? Okay, my guess here, I'm going with Joseph. T-bone steaks right here. T-bone steaks. This one's for Joseph. Oh, fuck, Jesus Christ, that was big. Goddamn. See what I'm saying? Just because you have a green light, that doesn't mean shit. That means fuck all here in Taiwan. I don't think this person lived because the person who's running the red light probably knows it's a red light, so they jam on the accelerator to try and make it, and he just doesn't. Yeah. Maybe you would live through that, but I don't know. That was a big hit. God damn. Can you explain to my dumbass what target fixation is? Oh yeah, sorry. So target fixation is when your brain and your eyes lock onto something that you see, and just like Lawrence said, Lawrence Van Rouge, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, I apologize. Basically, when you're learning to drive, one of the things you learn, especially on a motorcycle, is look where you want to go. Because most of the time, unless you're going too fast, where you look is where you will naturally put the car or motorcycle. But sometimes what can happen is that something, you know, maybe you're going around a corner on a motorcycle and there's a wall, you know, that's kind of like a barrier that's protecting you from falling off the mountain, and you're scared of hitting it, and so you kind of look at it because you're like, oh, I don't want to hit it, and your brain locks onto it, and then without knowing it, you subconsciously drive right into it. It sounds fucking stupid, but it happens all the time. Or you know, obstacle avoidance. One thing you're taught is to not look at the thing that you think you're going to hit, because you will definitely hit it if you're looking at it. So like an example is like, I don't know, you're driving behind a pickup truck who's hauling a mattress, and the mattress falls off the truck. If you stare right at the mattress, you're going to hit it. You should be looking kind of around it. I don't really know how to, but basically it just means you're looking at something that you don't want to hit. You know, you're looking at it because you don't want to hit it, but you don't realize that inadvertently you're causing yourself to hit it. That's what target fixation is. I'm fucking dumb. I'm not good at explaining it, but that's basically what it is. This demonstrates why I would never let my kids ride a scooter in Taiwan. I mean, yeah, I can see why you wouldn't want to, and a lot of Taiwanese parents don't want their kids to ride scooters in Taiwan, and I get it. I would never argue with that. And I don't think you're wrong. But what I do think is important is to teach your kids how to drive in the country that they're in, and understand that in a place like Taiwan, there are rules here, unwritten rules that they have to know. Because I think a lot of kids end up getting their licenses and they've never really been taught, or maybe when they were growing up, they were never paying attention to what was going on around them while they're in the passenger of a car. And so they're just kind of clueless, and all of a sudden they're behind the wheel of a car and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And so, yeah, what a stupid thing I just said. I think it's important to teach your kids how to drive. Shut up, Prozzy. Idiot. Target fixation is a big problem riding a bike. Yeah, it's a bigger problem on a motorcycle than it is driving a car, but it is still a problem in a car. Scooter will hit the green van. Well, that's kind of why I don't drive or ride a scooter, because I do that a lot, even when riding a bike. Yeah, I mean, you can train yourself to not do it. You know, like it's kind of hard to say because everyone can get target fixation. It just happens. You can't control it really, but at least you can know when you're doing it so that you can try and stop. Like there's been many times where I'm going around a corner and halfway through the corner I realize I'm going too fast for my own comfort. Not too fast for the motorcycle. Like usually the motorcycle can go around corners really fast, but it's just more. And then that panic sets in and I start looking at the fucking thing that I don't want to hit. And then I realize that I'm getting target fixation and I have to force my eyes to the apex of the corner. And I still have that panic feeling, but because I'm looking where I'm going and I just have to trust my body to be in tune with the motorcycle, that'll make it around that corner. Which is fucking scary because I'm not like the best rider ever. I don't like riding fast. I'm not good at taking corners. I've never taken a professional class. But it happens to everybody. The motovlogs on the new camera look awesome, by the way. Thanks, Joe. I appreciate that. I like it too. This little thing right here gets the job done. I want to make another moto. It's dusty as hell. I want to make another moto vlog this week, but I didn't have any ideas. So once I think of an idea, I'll hop on the bike and do one. My mother was a nurse. She never allowed me to ride a motorcycle. Didn't ride until I was 40. Yeah. I mean, I don't blame her, dude. It's fucking dangerous, dude. It is fucking dangerous. That's a really great Joe Barr comic on target fixation. I've never even heard of Joe Barr. Riding a motorcycle takes a whole lot of maturity, which a young man does not possess. Would you let your daughter drive a scooter or buy her a car? Are you asking me? Because I don't have a daughter. I don't have kids. I will say, if I were to have kids, I would want a girl. Don't know why. I think if I'm in the position where, you know, I'm fortunate enough to buy her a car, I'll buy her a car. You know? But if her only way of getting around is by scooter, then I'll teach her how to ride, you know? But I think as a parent, I would definitely worry, you know? Because it's not like I wouldn't trust my daughter. Like if I was confident that I taught her as much as I could about being safe on the road and what to look out for, I just don't trust everybody else, you know? Especially after watching these videos with you guys, you know, you can see just how ridiculous some people can go. In French, it says le moto toujours suivi le regard du pilote. Motorcycle all the time sees the police. My French is pretty rusty. You'll have to forgive me. I haven't fucking studied French since I was in high school. I have a Kimco 150 here in Canada. Really? Joe Barr is a French motorbike comic with plenty of references to illegal road racing. Oh, cool. I never really read... The only French comic I ever read was Asterix. Was it Asterix or Asterix? I don't even know how to describe the comic. They're like Greek little people that go on adventures, I think. Yeah. Okay. We have a few predictions for this video. This right here is a Nissan March. They're called something else in the UK, but I forget what a Nissan Micra. So this Toyota, these are often taxis as well. The Sienta, I think they're called, decides he's gonna turn left, and this Micra makes a fucking badass save. God damn. That was cool as hell. What was a handbrake turn? How the fuck did he pull that off? That was cool as hell. What? Do, 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 do. Oh, that was cool as shit. Great control. That old lady just got undressed. What happened here? Did the car try and pass her? Yeah. That's a little bit confusing. So the way it works is like these two lanes right here, these are for cars, and the right-hand lane is for scooters. And she got a little too close to the car lane. Asterix was a Gaul. Okay, a Gaul. Never mind. He wasn't Greek. Deja vu. Why do we keep saying deja vu? Am I missing something? All right, all right, all right. What's gonna happen? SUV is turning right. Nope, he's not turning right. Fucking gotcha. That was a fucking psych moment. This person's turning left, and so this guy was getting out of the way. And I guess the scooter just didn't have what it takes. Actually, I don't think the scooter hit the car. I think what happened is that the SUV went by. The scooter panics because maybe he doesn't have enough space. He does have enough space, but I think he doesn't. Or maybe he hit something. I don't know what happened there. Did he hit a pedestrian, actually? Because there's a crosswalk there. Oh, whoops, that's the wrong. Sorry. What the fuck does he hit? What does he hit? Does he hit a pedestrian or does he just slam on the brakes too hard? The quality's not good enough. My guess is he slammed on the brakes and took a little tumble. Clipped her handlebar. She leaned into the car, I think. Yeah, it looks like it. Capital D reference. Oh, do you mean initial D? She just seemed to give up. Nobody will stop to help her either. No, in Taiwan, accidents are so common that if you try and stop, you'll probably just cause more accidents. Boink. Yeah, that person's gone. I mean, they're not gone like they're dead. They just like drove off into the great wide yonder. Whoa. Isn't it crazy how neither of these scooters are going particularly all that fast, but the resulting collision was fucking catastrophic? Like, first of all, why? What is going on? What the fuck is going on? Hang on. I know it's not really fun to break this down. I'm just trying to figure out. So the Toyota Corolla's turning right. I'm guessing the scooter over here doesn't see that he's turning right. No, he has to see him. How does he not see him? But the scooter decides to turn left in front of the Corolla. I mean, like, this is what I don't get. This is what I just don't understand about some people. Why in the fuck would this guy choose now to turn left? Why? I don't get it. Because you can't tell me that they don't see the white Corolla, right? Does he see the scooter coming up? No, because the scooter is behind the white car. So she doesn't see him, and I get that. I think maybe the person on the left here is assuming the car is just going to stop because they're going to cut them off, not realizing that this little lane here that you can see is a scooter lane. I just like, why would you make that? I don't understand why you would make that turn then and there. Initial D, yeah, for sure. I was told they'll try and sue you if you help. In China, yeah. In Taiwan, it's not that they'll sue you. I mean, it can happen, but I think it's more just getting involved in other people's business or just getting involved in like paperwork unnecessarily, you know? So, yeah, I don't get that. Why would you turn left there? Oh, a little scooter bonanza. Oh, Jesus, fuck. What's going on? I think what happened here is, I think his front tire touched someone's back tire and the opposing rotational forces lifted his front wheel up and his bike went all crazy. Because look at that, what a weird thing for your bike to do. Whip. I've never seen a scooter do that before. Whip. Like, what is that? It doesn't really look like he hits anything, though. He just kind of takes a little whip. How the fuck does that happen? Front wheel lock up for sure. Never mind, I take it back. He locked up his front wheel. Yeah, that sucks. If you stop, people presume you were involved in some way. One time I was stopped because I captured an accident on our dash cam and some angry Chinese guys thought it was my fault. Yeah, and that can happen too as well, for sure. That can totally happen. Let me just double check I'm not missing it. I'll end this poll. China got 76% of the vote. I just really want to make sure I'm not missing any super chats. Nope. None so far. We're all good. All right. Yeah, I'm guessing this person locked up the front wheel. All right, we got a left-hand turn. No, we don't. Well, we already know what's going to happen. This person in this Honda Accord or Civic, whatever it is running this red light. And then this scooter's going to pay the price. Bam! Gets him in the back. At least he hit him in the back. That scooter got fucking lucky. I mean, it's unlucky, but like, if the car hit him dead on in the middle, that would be devastating. But because he hit the back of the scooter just gets twisted out from under you, you know? Death wobbles. I don't think it's a death wobble. You don't really see death wobbles on a scooter very much because they can't really go that fast. It could be. It definitely could be. Don't get me wrong. But I think it was probably he locked up because I saw people in front of him got cut off. So I think what happened is that he locked up the front tire and he went flying. Tank slappers are fucking terrifying. I haven't been in one myself, but I've seen a bunch of videos online of people getting into tank slappers and they're really terrifying. And apparently what you're supposed to do is let go of the handlebars and just pray to God because the motorcycle wants to set itself straight, right? Like basically a death wobble is when the front wheel becomes misaligned with the rear wheel. And so the wheel starts turning left to right, the front wheel, and your handlebars slap up against the side of your tank, which is why they're called tank slappers. And it happens when you're going really fast. And it looks fucking terrifying. And apparently, if you just let go, you know, maybe hold on to the bike or something, I don't fucking know, just pray to God, the bike will sort itself out, which is terrifying. Because, of course, instinctively, you want to hold on to the handlebars as tightly as possible to stop it. Mass versus energy, ouch, yeah. He looks like he's going to be fine, though, but still, that fucking sucks. Ran a red light. Oh, that's target fixation right there for sure. Has to be. Who was asking you about target? Mango Gecko. This is target fixation? Probably 100%. Yeah. This person just doesn't know how to ride a motorcycle. Yeah. It might not actually be target fixation. This just looks like someone who doesn't know what they're... I mean, he takes this corner. It looks like they put their foot down, which you really shouldn't do. Yeah, his feet are down, I think. Which means this person has no control over this motorcycle at all. At all. You took the corner too fast. He's probably looking at these cars, and so that's where his bike's going. But even if he wasn't, even if he was looking where he wants to go, I think he's going way too fast to make that corner. Boom! You get hit by 2 cars there. That was impressive. We're going to get rear-ended. Yep. Either on the phone or your brakes in that old-ass fucking van broke. This road looks terrifying. This looks like Alishan or something. This is really high up. Ooh, 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 ooh. Did they get run over? Did they miss? That's fucking close. And this is why you wear a full-faced helmet, friends. I mean, I know you're on a bicycle, so I guess it doesn't matter as much, but that person has no face left. Doesn't look like they got hit, though. They got lucky as shit. Oh, that accident happened way over there. I was looking the wrong way. See, what did you think was gonna happen? This is what I don't get. Okay, so this scooter, how the fuck do I explain this? In Taiwan, if you want to turn left on a scooter or a motorcycle that has a white license plate, okay, so you can see in the video they have a white license plate, you have to, first, you can't just turn left. You can't. You're not allowed on most intersections. You can see this blue sign. I know the quality is not very good. This is the highest quality I can get. This blue sign right here means that you are not allowed to turn left if you have a scooter or a motorcycle. I'm not sure how many people fucking give a shit about this. And so you have to go into these boxes. Do you see these boxes? They kind of look like this, but they stick out of the road. That's where these people are here. They're waiting. So if you want to go left, first you have to drive into that box, you wait, and then when that light turns green, then you can go. It's kind of, I don't know how to fucking explain it. It's confusing. It's a stupid system. Anyways, this person on the scooter decides that they're supposed to go in the box. Because look, he wants to turn left. But that sign here says you can't turn left on a scooter. So he's like, oh shit, I need to get into the box. So he decides that he's just gonna go right now. And of course runs into a car, because of course you run into a car, you fucking, I don't get it. Go to the batter box to turn left, yeah. What does the white license plate mean? Lower power engine? Yeah, exactly. So a green license plate means you have a 50cc engine. And then white license plate is, I think it's 100cc up to 250cc is white plate, I think. And you can just take a basic driver's license to get to, you can drive one. And then you have what they call a heavy motorcycle. That doesn't mean the motorcycle is literally heavy. It just means that the cubic centimeters, like the actual size of the engine's bigger. So then you move up to yellow plate, which is 250 to 600cc, I think. And that's what I have. I have a Honda Rebel 500, so mine's a yellow plate. You need a different kind of license to be able to ride one of those. And then 600cc and up is red plate, which is the larger displacement, you know, like liter bikes. I might not have the exact CCs completely correct, but it's around there. And almost everyone in Taiwan has a white plate scooter. Yeah. 2-stage left turn, I believe it is called. Is that what it's called? Thanks, I didn't know that. Yeah, no worries. I used to cruise through the green lights with my scoot with that all the time. Friggin' autocorrect. Yeah. Oh no! I see this happen all the time too. I see this happen all the time. So, Oh no, not this. Never mind. That's different. What I was going to say is that sometimes when people stop for a red light, um, like the red light just kind of happens and then they slam on the brakes and maybe they stopped kind of in the intersection a little bit and so they put it in reverse to try and back up back into their lane. But then what happens is they forget they're in reverse. And so when the light turns green again and they start to go, they're in fucking reverse and they go backwards. But this person goes forwards, then stops, then goes backwards. So I have no idea how that happened. This is how cars mate, by the way. That's how we get new cars. In Australia, we call that a turn, a hook turn. Yeah, I call them hook turns too. Do you have them in Australia though? Interesting side note, people from Japan come to Hawaii to get a motorcycle license. Would allow unlimited displacement back in Japan a long time ago. Really? I'm hoping I can get my motorcycle license transferred to a Japanese one if I go there. Japan getting a license for greater than 400cc was very difficult to obtain. Oh, really? I didn't know Australia had hook turns. I thought that was like kind of like a Taiwan only thing because of the amount of scooters that they have here. Anyways. How the fuck did you do that? You went forward and then back. That's impressive. Oh, not even sure how that happened. Oh no, the truck just didn't stop. Yeah. All right. We're gonna have the same accident happen again. I freaking almost guarantee it. Here's a better look at what I was talking. Is that how babies are born, Uncle Prozzy? That's exactly how car babies are born. You guys saw it here first. I still need a white license plate for my bar wall Prozzy. I have 2 green ones and a purple address plate. Would you have a bar or something? International license is good for 1 year. I was able to drive in Japan on a Taiwan license by getting an international license document against my Taiwanese one. Yeah, but I've got a motorcycle license though. I still have to get my other one. Visit Fat Cats in St. Catharines when you are in the area. All right. For sure. We talk about St. Catharines way too much on this live streams for some reason. Not St. Catharines, but shit. We joke that it's the greatest place in the world. What's the town right next to St. Catharines? Fuck, I'm gonna have to Google map it now. God damn it. Why is this in this mode? St. Catharines, is that Southern Ontario? Somewhere on Niagara, right? Yeah, you're here. This doesn't matter to anyone. I am gonna lose the audience here, but I have to know. What is the name of that goddamn city? It's gonna fucking bother me so much. Welland, fucking Welland. Yes, Welland, the greatest city in the world, just because it's a meme we have on this live stream. Yeah, my buddy who helped me build this computer is from St. Catharines. World, no, it wasn't there. Welland or Niagara? Yeah, it was definitely Welland. Yeah, I wanted to go home actually for Christmas, but I want to go back to work first. I want to go sub at my old school first so I can make money. Because right now, like, sponsorships are very slow. I haven't had any. And so while I have the money to go home, I don't have a way to make that money back later on. So I want to go back to school and sub, and then I'll go home, maybe in the summertime. But if I can get my hands on a license plate, that would be cool as shit. Because my grandma lives in Kitchener, which how far is Kitchener? I mean, it's not crazy far. Because Wes moved up to Kitchener as well. And it only takes like 4 hours now to get to Toronto on the 401, I think. Because back in my day, you know, we used to drive to Kitchener all the time from Ottawa, and it used to take 6 hours. And now I think it only takes like 4 or 5 because they've redone they've just redone it so it's better now. That's what I've heard anyway. I had a pizza shop in Welland first. No fucking way. That's hilarious. Welland is such a meme on this live stream, and now I got a guy who used to run a pizza shop there. What a fucking coincidence. I tried like heck to get a white Kaohsiung plate. I'm sure we can set, it shouldn't be too hard. I'll just go nick one right now. Takes 5 hours to Kitchener, right? Not to Toronto. International license includes motorcycle if you're endorsed in your home country. Oh, no, I'm in Grimsby. Huh? Where the fuck is Grimsby? Yeah. I've always Grimsby to me always had like a name that like, because it's got grim in it. Where is that? There's so many little towns in Ontario that I've heard of but never been. Watch it be in fucking Australia or something. That would be embarrassing. I'll figure out where Grimsby is in a minute. Let's just bang these out. We only got 2 minutes left. See, it's exactly like I said. Right-hand turn, and you nail a scooter every time. It's just like I said, bam. That right there, I think, is the most common accident in Taiwan. I could be wrong, but if I had to guess, I think that's the most common one. You're turning right, and bam, and you just don't see the scooters, and the scooters don't bother looking to, you know, no idea what's going on here. It's really dark. And this is 15-year-old footage. You're gonna get T-boned. No, you're gonna run into the back of a taxi. Okay. What do we got going on here? Is this pedestrian's gonna, oh, doesn't get hit. Yes, she does. Oh, fuck, poor girl. Yep. This is another huge problem in Taiwan, is that people don't stop for pedestrians. Like this car just straight up doesn't see her. Or doesn't care. So they never stop. Oh, I know where that is. This is under the MRT, isn't it? This person just makes a sweeping turn, a crazy one. Not sure how she thought that was going to go. Someone's definitely getting T-boned. Get ready, Joseph. Boom! There you go. T-boned. Boom! Yep. Oh, this is Taichung! Represent! Taichung, represent! This is right outside Alan's house, just in case you guys want to know where he lives. You go here, and you'll find him. I used to work right here. I can't really imagine what could possibly go wrong. Oh. Okay. T-bone! Boom! Oh no! Did you have a kid on your scooter? Or is that a dog? Feet down the whole way. She's got something. Maybe it's groceries. Yeah. Just doesn't give a fuck. Watch, 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 watch. Remember what I was saying before? Watch. Watch this lady's head, okay? So this is, in Taiwan, we call these sanbao, right? Sanbao, the three treasures. We dox an Alanyo. Yeah, for sure. Okay, watch this old lady. She does not turn her head left or right at all. She's just fucking going for it with nothing but a prayer. Okay. Nothing but a prayer. Look at this. Doesn't look at all. She gets hit and doesn't look. Look at this. Straight ahead. Not looking at a fucking thing. Bing. Idiot. You deserved every bit of that pain. I feel bad saying that. Maybe she doesn't deserve the pain, but like, hopefully she looks now. How does that happen? Whatever. Oh, yeah. See, this is why scooters stick to the right most of the time. They're supposed to. Like, again, like I said, Taiwan has these lanes just for scooters. The fuck happened there? Oh, you see, again, just cut out onto the road without looking at all. Doesn't give a shit. Boom, I'm going, goodbye. And you cause a big accident. You're going to try and pass this truck. I'm guessing it's not going to go well for you. Now she's going to pass on the right-hand side, but the blue truck's taking a right-hand turn. This Uber Eats driver doesn't care. Boom. Like I said, one of the most common causes of accidents is that right there. And here we go again. Same thing. We're turning right. Scooter doesn't give a shit. Boom. Rear-ended. Happens all the time. There you go. All right, did we find Grimsby? I don't know how it works, though, if your Taiwan license is scooter only. No, it's a motorcycle one, named after Grim, the Viking in England. Oh. It's the gateway to Niagara. Midway on the lake between Hamilton and St. Catharines. Oh, it's here. Grimsby. I've heard of it. I think friends had like hockey tournaments here or something. I've always wondered. Now I'm back into maps again. Here we go. I mean, it's quaint. It looks like a 50s, like a post-war, the government gives you these houses types of things. It looks kind of nice. It's party. It reminds me a lot of Waterloo. Looks aight. Don't know why we just went back in time to 2007. 2025. Here we go. Yeah, looks nice. I don't think I've ever been. Maybe I have been, and I just don't know. Look at those trees. This is badass. This is the type of neighborhood that would make a great Halloween. Look at that. That's fucking cool. On the coast, too. I imagine these are expensive. No footpaths like Taiwan. I noticed nobody wears any body armor. In Taiwan, no, God no. Because we ride our scooters and motorcycles every single day. So it's fucking annoying to put on armor all the time, And it's hot as shit too, so in the summer you're just gonna get heat stroke. I guess we can say she did not have target fixation. Yeah, Mango, you're probably, yeah, you got it. Good horror. Yeah, I think this is a good like Halloween setting in the 80s, Like if Stranger Things was shot here, I wouldn't doubt it. I like these small Ontario towns for that kind of vibe. Like I grew up in Ottawa, but sometimes we would go to Kitchener to go trick-or-treating with my cousin. And they have some road, like there's just some neighborhoods with some fucking amazing, let me see if I can find, like really huge trees, which just gave it this whole vibe. Let me see, where's Ottawa Street in Kitchener? I'm probably not going to find it. I haven't been to Kitchener in fucking years. Ottawa Street, here we go. It's going to be somewhere around here. Franklin. Yep. I used to go trick-or-treating right around here somewhere. Okay, no big trees. Trust me, these trees are big when they have leaves on them. Anyways, they, in the fall time, like areas like this are great. Not here. I don't know. I'm messing this up. This just looks like a regular ass normal neighborhood. I want to see if I can find... Oh, I went the wrong way. My grandparents' house is here, so we would have gone trick-or-treating here. Yeah, what a nice part of the country. But yeah, these trees, when they're huge and full of leaves, Halloweening here was the best. My grandparents don't live there anymore, so I don't think it matters if I show the house, but I'm not going to bother because nobody cares. Not with my Kimco, though. There's the mesh armor. Should be renamed to Back to Berlin. You can check the timeline and look for a summertime setting. Really? I don't know. I'm not going to fuck with it. I don't know. I just kind of like this part of Ontario. I don't know. It's got, in fall time, it's got good vibes. I don't know. I don't think I saw as much of Ontario growing up as I don't know. Is there much to see? Like I grew up here and in Ottawa, and we had hockey tournaments kind of in the surrounding area growing up. I went to Montreal when I got older to go drinking with my friends. Toronto, Kitchener all the time to see my grandparents. Toronto less so because it's a big city and it's expensive, and we just drove right past it to get to Kitchener. I've been to Niagara Falls once. I've never been to London. We used to go to Kingston all the time because my family there was this older couple that lived there that my family were friends with. They were from Liverpool, actually. So we used to go to Kingston to see them all the time. So like this part of Ontario I saw a lot of. But the rest of it, like Sudbury, Thunder Bay, Owen Sound, like all those other places, never been to, never thought of going to. Timmins, you know, I knew a girl from there but never saw it. Like I wonder if there's anything even out there worth looking at other than mosquitoes. Mesh is still a hassle to put on, and Taiwanese value convenience above all else. Yeah, for sure, 100%. I grew up in St. Thomas. Southern Ontario is the tropics of Canada. Nah, dude. Well, actually, yeah, like this part kind of, because the winters are so mild compared to the rest of Canada. But the winter in Ottawa sucks donkey ball. There's the weather in general sucks in Ottawa. Very humid place. St. Thomas. Where the fuck is St. Thomas? The one cool thing about growing up in Ottawa, though, what's really cool is that it sits on the border of Quebec, right? So like, it doesn't really, it's hard to see, but there's a dotted line that cuts Ontario and Quebec. And Ottawa, this is the Ottawa River. And anything north is Quebec and anything south is Ontario. And Ottawa is on the border, right? So south part's Ontario, north part's Quebec. And the drinking age in Quebec is 18. So we always used to like get in the car when we were 18. We drive across the border, you know, across these bridges into Quebec, go to like a dépanneur. A dépanneur is like what's a dépanneur? A convenience store? Like, but they have like almost like a grocery store, but it's small. It's a convenience store that they sell booze, which you couldn't do in Ontario. In Ontario, you couldn't buy alcohol from a convenience store or any. Oh man, my light went out. You couldn't buy alcohol from you had to do it at a government-run liquor store. But in Quebec, you can buy them pretty much anywhere. So we used to go to Dépanneur and buy our beer and then go back into Ontario and drink it. So we could drink alcohol like a year earlier, which was kind of fun. It's like one of the few advantages to growing up in Ottawa. You can now. Yeah, I think you can buy alcohol in grocery stores in Ontario now. But I think, don't they close really early though? I think they close early. I'm not really sure. Grew up in St. Thomas. It's the area south of London. Oh, it's here. Gotcha. What is this close to? Yeah, just London. Let's have a look. I'm losing viewers pretty hard, so I guess people don't really give a shit. Damn, this place is nice as hell, dude. It looks old-timey. This convenience store is cool as hell. Wellington Variety. This place looks alright. I could live here. Raise a little family. Looks like there's kind of fuck all to do. Unless you have a boat. Because you're so close to the lakes. But it looks alright. There's even oh, there was people. Never see people outside in Canada. Look at this place. This is the one thing I have to explain to Taiwanese people is like, when you walk around in Canada, you can go for so long without seeing a fucking soul. You know, like just there's nobody here. No one outside at all. Anyways. Corner stores until 11? Really? I don't fucking believe you. Grocery stores and some convenience stores. Used to love O'Keefe beer. It was one of my favorite when I drank beer. That's my neighborhood. Yeah, well, I mean, it's not a very big place, right? So kind of makes sense that I would land in your neighborhood. You know what I used to really love when I drank? I don't drink anymore, but I used to love... oh my God, I don't even remember. La Fin du Monde, which was like a French microbrewery. They did like it was a really high percentage beer, but it was really good. La Fin du Monde and the Trois Pistoles, I think is what the other one was called. I can't really remember. But those things were fucking excellent. I wonder if they still make them. Anyways, my light's out. That was the live stream. I hope you enjoyed. I'll do another one soon, I hope. I gotta get better at like fucking getting donations in. Because I need to go home. My mom asked me to go home for Christmas and I just don't really have the money because it costs so much money to go home. So expect more live streams. Oh, sick 370 or 350. And a Mustang. This guy's got quite the black car collection here. But yeah, enjoy your week. Thanks for watching. And yeah. La Fin du Monde, yeah. The end of the world. Yeah. See you next time.